Live from Asmara, this is ERi-TV English news broadcast for Saturday evening, 1st of August. The time is exactly 10:30 p.m. Good evening to you, and let's begin with the top stories. Activity assessment meeting reviews development programs. Financial support extended to families of martyrs. Iranian Foreign Minister warns burden against cooperation with U.S. strikes on Iran. And U.S. troops rotation in Poland to resume within weeks, says Defense Minister. Thank you for joining us. Proceeding with our report. An assessment meeting was conducted in the Central Region to review progress made in administrative development and infrastructure programs during the first half of 2026. Mr. Zarit Tawal-Dabrahan, Managing Director of the region, said that the objective of the meeting was to assess the strengths and challenges in implementing projects that were initiated in 2025 and carried over into 2026, as well as to identify measures to address the challenges encountered. At the meeting, heads of departments and divisions presented reports focusing on training programs organized to enhance the vocational skills of workers, measures taken to improve social service and residents' welfare, and renovation of asphalt and dirt roads, as well as pedestrian walkways. The reports indicated that compared with 2025, the construction of agricultural terraces increased by 48%. In 2026, water diversion terraces by 95% and contour terraces by 72%. The participants held extensive discussion on the reports presented and adopted various recommendations. Ambassador Abdullah Musa, Minister of Local Government, called for coordinated efforts to implement the development programs that have been set out. Mrs. Nabiat Bahalibi, Secretary of the PFDJ in Ad-Dakhala subzone, reported that more than 700,000 nafa contributed by residents of 22 administrative areas in the subzone had been distributed to 1,395 families of martyrs. Mrs. Nabiat also said that in addition to the financial support, residents are cultivating land belonging to families of martyrs and that the community support will continue in earnest. Mr. Tesfai Abraha, acting administrator of the subzone, said that support extended annually by residents together with the regular assistance provided by the government has made a significant contribution to improving the livelihoods of families of martyrs. Similarly, 42,000 nafa contributed by government employees in Tsarona subzone was dispersed to 7 families of martyrs. Likewise, residents of the administrative areas of Argenay, Enda Stefanos, Sarda, Bidi, Adda Haragat, Maichana, and Filho extended more than 28 quintals of grains to families of martyrs in addition to assisting with the cultivation of their land. Mr. Abdu Ismail, representative of the Development, Forestry and Wildlife Conservation in Tassani subzone, reported that extensive water and soil conservation activities are being carried out through the student summer work program. Mr. Abdu further said that 736 participants in the student summer work program from the Fanko and Tassani centers are conducting commendable community campaigns. Since the program began on 6th of July, about 29,000 meters of terraces have been constructed. 3 seedlings are also being planted at schools and health facilities. The program will continue for 36 days. The program coordinated and participating students indicated that the initiative makes a significant contribution to fostering love and harmony among students as well as developing a strong work ethic. According to the report, there is a plan to plant 10,000 indigenous tree seedlings in the Fanko administrative area and another 10,000 in the High administrative area of Tassani subzone. Those were updates on domestic issues. Global matters will follow right after this. Iranian Foreign Minister Said Abbas Eritrea has warned Britain against any military cooperation with the United States in carrying out strikes on Iran. Eritrea made the remark during a phone call with British Foreign Secretary Ed Miliband yesterday, stressing that any cooperation with aggressors, including under the pretext of existing defense agreement, would be unacceptable, according to a statement issued by the Iranian Foreign Ministry today. Eritrea criticized what he described as the British government's unjustified and inappropriate policies toward Iran, citing London's recent designation of Iran's Islamic Revolution Guard Corps as a national security threat and its complicity in two wars imposed by the United States and Israel against Iran in recent months. He called on Britain to consider its approach toward Tehran. He said that under international law and the Convention of the Definition of Aggression, allowing a country's territory and facilities to be used for illegal attacks against another state constitutes an act of aggression and gives the attacked country the right to self-defense. Eritrea said Iran had entered a diplomatic process with the United States in good faith and signed a memorandum of understanding with Washington in June aimed at ending the conflict, but Washington failed to honor its commitment. He also highlighted Iran's effort to establish operational mechanism with Oman to manage shipping traffic in the Strait of Hormuz, warning that third-party interference would only further complicate matters. The United States has confirmed that it will resume within weeks in rotation of its troops in Poland after temporarily suspending the process, Polish defense minister said. Washington announced in May that it was suspending the rotation of U.S. troops to NATO ally Poland. A few days later, however, President Donald Trump said the U.S. would be sending 5,000 extra soldiers to the country, which shares borders with Ukraine and also within Russia's close ally Belarus. Poland is a loyal U.S. ally, so it was even more pleasing to hear that the rotation, which was suspended a few weeks ago, is returning and will be completed in the coming weeks, Polish defense minister said during a ceremony at a missile factory. The Polish government had earlier signaled it was working on getting the soldiers back, but the timeline was unclear. Speaking at the same event, Prime Minister Donald Tusk called on all sides of Poland's political spectrum to remain united in support of Ukraine. We're about to end our news broadcast, but here's a final look at the top stories before we say goodnight. Activity Assessment Meeting reviews development programs. Financial support extended to families of martyrs. Iranian Foreign Minister warns Britain against cooperation with U.S. strikes on Iran. And U.S. troops rotation in Poland to resume within weeks, says Defense Minister. That's all with the news for the session. On behalf of the entire news crew, thank you for watching. I'm Salim Brahane. Have a great night.